The interview that was never meant to end. Before we start, what would you do if you walked into a job interview and the interviewer already knew every mistake you were going to make, every lie, every hesitation, every word, and no matter what you said, you couldn't leave the room? Welcome to AM Story Archives, where hidden truths, real-style mysteries, and chilling stories come to life. If you enjoy stories that stay with you long after they end, make sure to like this video, drop a comment telling us where you're watching from, and subscribe or follow so you never miss what's hidden in the archives. Now, let's begin. Marcus Hale needed this job. Not wanted, needed. At 34, he had already burned through 2 careers, 1 failed startup, and more opportunities than he liked to admit. On paper, he looked unstable. In reality, he was just tired. Tired of starting over. Tired of proving himself. Tired of pretending everything was fine. So when he received an email from Virex Systems, he didn't question it. He should have. The email was simple. Your profile has been selected. Interview scheduled. Attendance required. No HR signature. No job description. Just an address and a time. 9 a.m. The building stood in the middle of downtown Chicago. Tall, glass-covered, but strangely, no logo, no company name, just a blank surface reflecting the city like it didn't belong there. Marcus hesitated at the entrance. Something felt off, but need overrides instinct, always. He walked in. The lobby was empty, too empty. No receptionist, no sound, just a single desk and a tablet resting on it. The screen lit up as he approached. Marcus Hale, you're late. He checked his watch. 8:59 a.m. I'm early, he muttered. The screen flickered. Correction, you were supposed to arrive at 8:42 a.m. First deviation noted. Marcus frowned. What? Before he could question it further, a door opened behind the desk. Slowly, silently, and a voice came from inside. Please proceed. The room was smaller than expected. 1 chair, 1 table, 1 man. The interviewer. He didn't look unusual. Mid-50s, gray suit, calm expression. But his eyes didn't feel human. Not in a dramatic way. Just too still, too precise. Sit, Marcus. Marcus sat. The interviewer didn't introduce himself, didn't shake hands, didn't smile. Let's begin. The first question was normal. Tell me about yourself. Marcus exhaled. Easy. He had practiced this. I'm a data analyst with over 10 years of lie. Marcus stopped. What? You said 10 years. It's 8. You exaggerated. Marcus blinked. I rounded up. Second deviation. A small screen on the table lit up. A number appeared. 2. Marcus forced a smile. Okay, let's try again. But something inside him shifted. This wasn't normal. The next question. Why did you leave your last job? Marcus hesitated, then answered carefully. I wanted new challenges. The man tilted his head. Lie. Marcus clenched his jaw. I was laid off. Partial truth. You were asked to resign. The number changed. 3. Marcus leaned back. All right, what is this? Some kind of test? The man didn't react. Every answer you give is being evaluated. Continue. Minutes passed, question after question, each one precise, uncomfortable,
personal, not just about work, about his past, his failures, his regrets. Why did your startup fail? Why did your partner leave? Why didn't you call your father before he died? Marcus's breathing grew heavier. How do you know all this? No answer, just the next question, and the number kept rising. 7, 11, 16. At 20, something changed. The lights flickered. The room felt smaller, tighter. Marcus stood up. I'm done. He walked to the door, tried the handle, locked. He turned back. This isn't funny. Open the door. The interviewer calmly folded his hands. You may leave after the evaluation is complete. When is that? When you pass. Marcus laughed. Pass what?
The man finally leaned forward, and for the first time, there was emotion in his voice. Not anger, not excitement, certainty. Yourself. Silence filled the room. Marcus sat down slowly. What does that even mean? The screen flickered again. A new message appeared. Final phase initiated. The interviewer spoke. From this point forward, every answer determines outcome probability. Marcus stared at him. Outcome of what? The man didn't blink. Your continuation. Something cold ran through Marcus's spine. Wait, are you saying... Question 1, the interviewer interrupted. If you could go back and fix one mistake, would you? Marcus swallowed. This wasn't a job interview anymore. This was something else. He thought carefully, then answered. Yes. The screen paused, processing, then accepted. Marcus exhaled. Relief. Finally. But then the next question came, and everything collapsed. Which one? Marcus opened his mouth, closed it, thought. Too many options, too many regrets. I don't know. The screen flashed red. Failure. Number increased. 21. The room got colder. And then Marcus realized something terrifying. There was no right answer, only honest ones. And honesty was something he had avoided his entire life. The questions became harder, deeper, more personal. Did you love her, or just the idea of not being alone? Were you ever truly confident, or just pretending better than others? Do you regret your life, or just the way it turned out? Marcus started breaking, not physically, mentally. Because for the first time, he wasn't answering someone else. He was answering himself. And he didn't like the answers. The number climbed. 25, 30, 37. At 40, the screen went black. The interviewer stood up, slowly. Final question. Marcus looked up, exhausted, broken. What happens if I fail? The man stared at him, and this time there was no emotion, no softness, just truth. You don't leave. Marcus's heart stopped. And if I pass? The man paused, then said, You wake up. Silence. Marcus blinked. Wake up? From what? The man stepped closer, leaning slightly. From the life you've been avoiding. Marcus's eyes widened, and suddenly everything made sense. This wasn't a building. This wasn't a company. This wasn't even an interview. This was a moment, a single moment, stretched, examined, forced, a chance.
The screen lit up one last time. Final answer required. Question: are you willing to accept responsibility for every choice you've made? Marcus's chest tightened, because this time he couldn't lie. He looked down at his hands, at the years he wasted, the excuses, the blame. Then slowly he nodded. Yes. The room went silent. The screen processed, longer than before. Then accepted. The number disappeared. The lights returned. The door unlocked. Marcus stood there, not moving. The interviewer stepped back. Congratulations. Marcus whispered, "What job was this?" The man smiled, just slightly. "The one you've been avoiding your entire life." The room faded, and Marcus woke up. Same apartment, same life, same problems, but something was different. For the first time, he didn't feel stuck, because now he understood. Lesson: the hardest interview you'll ever face is the one where you stop lying to yourself. No resume, no preparation, no escape. Just truth. And the moment you accept it, that's when your real life begins.